elected officials, both the Senate and the House of Representatives, have just overwhelmingly passed the National Defense Authorization Act.
President Obama, on New Year's Eve, signed the National Defense Authorization Act.
Squeezed into this military funding bill are two provisions that give the military not just lots and lots of money, but lots and lots of power.
That authorizes the president to indefinitely imprison, without criminal charge or court hearing, any suspected terrorist. Suspected.
Indefinitely detain American citizens, even those captured here in the United States, suspected, not convicted, of some sort of involvement or affiliation with terrorism.
Congress is essentially authorizing the indefinite imprisonment of American citizens without charge or trial.
Your Congress and our President have just finished today removing the last vestiges of the Constitution of liberty for the sake of national security. We have destroyed the Bill of Rights today. Today marks the day that America is now turned into a battlefield, a police state.
How bad is this?
It's quite frankly absurd. I mean, here we are, 10 years after 9/11, in the wake of the demise of Osama bin Laden, the only leader that Al-Qaeda's ever known. And we're passing a provision that would codify the indefinite detention without trial of suspected enemies of the state. And that includes, as you mentioned, American citizens apprehended here on U.S. soil. We have not codified indefinite detention without trial since the McCarthy era. That's how extreme this is.
I think that denigrates the very foundation of this country. It denigrates the Bill of Rights. It denigrates what our founders intended.
And when they say, I want my lawyer, you tell them, shut up.
Your time
Don't
will
get a lawyer. You're an enemy combatant. Death, detention, prosecution.
Whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats, they all did something horrible here in taking away an enormous part of our Constitution, and they're all guilty.
It's time to wake up.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to introduce a very simple piece of legislation to repeal the infamous Section 1021 of the National Defense Authorization Act, quietly signed into law by the President on New Year's Day. What a way to usher in the new year. Section 1021 essentially codifies into law the very dubious claim of presidential authority under 2001 authorization for the use of military force to indefinitely detain American citizens without access to legal representation or due process of law. Section 1021 provides for the possibility of the U.S. military acting as a kind of police force on U.S. soil, apprehending terror suspects, including Americans, and whisking them off to an undisclosed location indefinitely. No right to attorney, no right to trial, no day in court. Is this really the kind of a United States we want to create in name of fighting terrorism?